Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Mild conditions out there at the current time, seeing temperatures climbing into the mid 70s currently, and seeing some slightly breezy winds out of the west, and overall partly cloudy skies with some clearing moving into the area. We'll see a fairly warm day ahead today, with temperatures likely getting up to or maybe just above 80 degrees this afternoon. Should see dry conditions prevail through the next 24 hours, but we'll see a very slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm trying to make its way just south of the local area, as much of that activity will develop and stay well to our south and west. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have this boundary that's going to be sinking through the area as we move through the day today. Ahead of it, again, warm conditions, and as that boundary sinks through, we'll see those winds turning more onshore as we go into the evening time frame, and that will also be the focal point of some shower activity developing mainly off to our southwest as we get into the afternoon and first part of the evening. If we look at our upper level winds from this morning, sounding had some west to northwesterly winds in the lowest 6,000 feet, becoming westerly through the mid and upper levels, seeing our peak wind through the first 25,000 feet at 16,000 feet, and that peak speed is at 44 knots. Our freezing level today was at 11,700 feet. Looking at the current visible satellite, we can see this cloud deck that's been sticking around this morning continuing to move eastward. Does look like we will see a break in that activity, a break in that cloud cover as we get over the next hour or two. And then later this afternoon into the evening, good chance of seeing some mostly cloudy conditions once again. So kind of mixing between partly to mostly cloudy conditions as we move through the day today. We'll take a look at the HER model here for the next 48 hours of what we can expect. We'll see dry conditions prevailing over the local area. And as you can see, a mix of partly to mostly cloudy conditions pushing through the area. As we get into the later part of the afternoon and the first part of the evening, we do start to see some of that shower activity developing, mainly off to the southwest. And as you can see, some reflectivities inching up on the lowest parts of the Delmarva Peninsula. But again, expecting that to stay out of the local area. Just a very slight chance we see one of those showers inch their way up into the region. But most of that should stay to the southwest. And as we go into the evening, we'll see that moving out of the area with that boundary stalling just to our south, winds shifting onshore, keeping that activity out of the area. As we move through the day on Thursday, continued onshore breeze going to keep things a little bit cooler, but still right around seasonal or slightly above average for this time of year. Moving through the day, not expecting any precipitation or lightning through working hours. We'll see a very slight chance once again of some showers late in the day and more so into the evening, but once again expecting that activity to develop off to the west and mainly stay off to the west. Just can't rule out an isolated shower trying to make its way through the local area as we go through the first part of the evening. And as we go into Friday, we'll see a slight chance for some low clouds early, and then winds will start to pick up out of the southwest. We'll once again see warming conditions moving into the start of the day on Friday, and we're looking at quite breezy conditions as we move through Friday, with a good chance for a good chance for a wind advisory as we move through working hours on Friday. If we zoom out, look at the European model here, starting on Friday morning, again, see that tighter pressure gradient across the local area, area of low pressure tracking off to the northeast, centered well to our north. That's going to bring that tighter pressure gradient in, bringing some breezy conditions as we move through the day. Again, good chance of seeing a wind advisory during the day. As we get later in the day, late afternoon into the evening, we'll see some showers looking to develop over the local region, so slight chance of seeing a shower or thunderstorm in the area. Looks like that will be late afternoon or possibly after close of business on Friday, and then we'll see that activity kind of die out with sunset as we move into the weekend. Getting into the weekend, I do have low confidence in the extended forecast here, as we do have some diverging in the model outputs moving through the extended forecast, but we are starting to see some attempt to consolidate around a solution. It does look like we will see rain chances, a good chance of rain as we move through the day on Saturday, particularly once again later in the afternoon and into the evening time frame as this upper level trough digs into the region. Once again, seeing some breezy conditions as well with that tighter pressure gradient over the area. You can see the European model here keeps most of the shower activity off to the northwest, but does inch in a few showers over the local area. GFS has this trough continuing to push through the region, bringing scattered showers and thunderstorms. As we move into the end of the weekend, again, that GFS kind of clears the trough out of here. However, the European and some other models are coming around to the solution where this upper level trough cuts off and lingers over the eastern part of the country. And as you can see here, keeps scattered showers around the area for Sunday, mainly diurnally driven. And then as we go overnight into Monday, once again, keeping some showers around the area and possibly some thunderstorms as well. And that looks to continue as we move into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So higher confidence in the start of the weekend, and then some uncertainty as we get later in the weekend and into the start of next week. Is all going to depend on that upper level trough cutting off, if that actually occurs or not, and where it meanders after it cuts off, if that does occur. So looking at the next 24 hours, expecting green conditions as we move through our working hours today, seeing our high temperature up around 80 degrees. We'll see slightly breezy winds out of the west-northwest as we get into the afternoon, as that boundary starts to sink through, and eventually lightening up a bit and then becoming more easterly as we go into the evening, and fairly light and easterly as we move through the early morning hours of Thursday. I do expect that very slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm starting after the 1400 local time frame until about the 1800 local time frame, but again, expecting that to stay to our west and southwest, so not looking very likely at this time. We do pick up a yellow risk for reduced ceilings as we move through the early morning hours of Thursday, with those light onshore winds bringing in that low-level moisture. We'll see some clouds around, but temperatures will cool down to around 57 degrees for our low, and that may set up a possibility, a slight chance for some patchy fog around the area as we move through the hours prior to sunrise. Again, as mentioned, mostly to partly cloudy conditions. We are expecting a break to move into the area as we move over the next hour or two, and then getting into the later part of the afternoon, good chance of seeing possibly a ceiling developing once again around 4,000 to 8,000 feet. And as we go into the early morning hours tomorrow, likely seeing a ceiling around 5,000 feet through the early morning hours. Tides running slightly below normal. Moving into our day on Thursday. Cooler day for Thursday, but still fairly seasonable, or just above average, high of 70 degrees. We'll see mostly cloudy conditions with a slight onshore breeze through the day. Once again, a very slight chance of a shower late in the day and into the evening, but looks like most of that will stay west of the area. Moving into Friday, much warmer once again for Friday, similar to today, a high of 80 degrees. We'll see breezy conditions out of the southwest, helping to keep things warm. And we'll see a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm later in the day as that boundary starts to approach. We'll see those chances diminishing and then picking back up, about a 60% chance as we move through the day on Saturday. Again, more so towards the later part of the day and into the evening when we get some better heating through the day. Otherwise, once again, breezy and fairly mild temperatures with highs up into the mid-70s. And then getting into the end of the weekend and into the beginning of next week, again, a bit less in the way of confidence in this longer range forecast here, but looking at a 50% chance of seeing some showers and storms continue into the day on Sunday, leaning towards the European solution here with that upper level low lingering around the area. Seasonable temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees, and we'll keep that as we go through Monday and Tuesday as well, just dropping down to a 30% chance of rain, showers and thunderstorms for Monday and Tuesday. As further out we go, the less confidence we get, but considering that upper level low potentially lingering around the area, we'll see conditions similar over a stretch of a couple days. So really going to depend on what happens with that upper level trough, whether it clears out of here or lingers as a cutoff low over the area. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.